Abram had taken the family down to Egypt and had experienced some problems because of that. But unfortunately, Sarai is going to learn what happens when you bring Egypt into the family with Hagar. And it's interesting because um, Rashi and other, um, and we had not talked about this with you beforehand, but Rashi and other scholars, other sages of Israel have noted that perhaps Hagar was not just any old Egyptian. Um, they postulate that she was actually the Pharaoh's daughter. And the Pharaoh had thought to himself that it's better for her to serve this man of God
Mhm.
and his family than to be a princess married into another, royal family that serves idols. Um, so that's an interesting outlook, and um, it also brings her humanity into it. Like, and we're going to see this chapter, next chapter, uh, actually a few chapters later, we're gonna really get glimpses into Hagar's relationship with the Lord. So it's interesting to think of her in those terms, and it
Mhm.
actually helps to explain some of the things that she's going to be doing with respect to Sarah and Abraham, um, as we go along.
Uh, I know we've only gotten through 2 verses. I want to bring this up real quick because at the end of verse 2 it says, "And Abram heeded the voice of Sarai." Well, who else heeded his wife?
Ooh,
Adam.
yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I'll take a bite of the fruit there. You're offering me. You're offering me this. It looks good. It looks pleasant to eat." And here we're looking almost like a mirror image of what's going on here with.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that women shouldn't have their voice heard and that men shouldn't, you know, heed to their word, but there are times when
Yeah.
when the man needs to take charge. And
Yeah.
here, Abram should have taken charge and said, "No, let's wait on God uh, and His promises." But he didn't. He's seen this fruit that was handed to him. He's like, "Why not take it?"
Yeah. 4,000 years later,
So,
Israel is still suffering the consequences
uh-huh.
of this decision right here.
Exactly. Uh,
Wow.
so, verse. Did you want to add into that, or
I'm good.
okay?
Yeah.
Verse 3. Then Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. To be his wife. Now he's going to get married again. After Abram had dealt 10 years in the land of Canaan. So he went into Hagar and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress, that is Sarai, became despised in her eyes.
Mm. Yeah.
Then Sarai said to Abram, "My wrong be upon you. I gave my maid into your embrace, and when she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between you and me." Isn't that just like a woman? No, just kidding. Here we go with all the people's emailing. What do we mean? But now she's blame shifting.
Yeah.
In a sense. And don't get me wrong, Abram's just as much to blame.
Yeah.
But she offered, okay? And like I said, if a man has offered something like that, highly unlikely he would have said, "No thanks." She's offered him this, and it came about. She got the child that she
Yeah.
supposedly wanted.
Yeah.
And now she's angry because Hagar has conceived this child. This, they don't know what he is yet, but obviously has a boy. She has a boy, and she becomes angry at both of them basically.
Yeah.
But she blames Abram more for taking her as his wife and having a child with her instead of her getting the child because of
Yeah.
her lack of uh, waiting on the Lord to do this.
Yeah. It's funny. Looking back at it, it's funny and sad at the same time. But again, it's interesting that it says that Hagar started to despise her mistress. So it's adding one more detail. So this girl had been serving, and she had been serving her mistress Sarai so well that Sarai had the confidence in her, the trust to give her to her husband as a concubine. And what happens? I mean, this girl has been living as a servant, but she came from a palace. And now she sees an opportunity to become the the mistress herself.
Mm-hmm.
She, she she's going to use this, or going to try to use this as a way of conducting a coup against the OG wife, and it's causing all sorts of trouble. It's a proper mess. To
Mm-hmm.
channel my British uh, inner Brit, a proper mess. I tell you,
The proper mess.
I can't do accents. I'm sorry, not British.
So Abram said to Sarai, "Indeed, your maid is in your hand." So she belongs to Sarai.
Oh yeah, and okay. So after you finish
Want
that,
to
I
finish
got
this?
something. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Do to her as you please. And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. So, Sarai is like, you know, not only are you going to sweep the floors, but now you're going to mop them. You're going to shine them. You're going to clean the windows in the tent.
Get on
that
your
tent
8 month
windows.
pregnant belly and
And work.
yeah. But another thing that comes up that we overlook most of the time is there's a problem. She's both a servant and the master's concubine.
Mm-hmm. Wife. I don't know if
Well,
for me, a concubine is someone that is part of the so-called harem, but this is specific with wife. I mean,
yeah, she's only really referred to as wife once out of the mouth of Sarai, but she's
mm-hmm.
never anywhere else ever called his wife. She's always called the servant or the concubine. So I'm going with concubine because uh, she's not the wife. There's the mistress of the house,
Mm-hmm.
who is the wife, and she's still somebody's servant, so she can't be a full-fledged wife. She doesn't have that the authority, the legal standing to be called wife because she's somebody else's servant. She's not Abram's servant. She's
Mm-hmm.
Sarai's servant.
Right.
Even though she let him sleep with her to produce offspring, she's in that legal gray zone where you know she has no advocate.
Mm-hmm.
She has no one to plead her case for her.
Was Sarai in fear of Hagar taking her place?
Yeah, that is.
Where she's uh, almost like not swapping places where Sarai would be her servant, but now she's placed above because now she's given him a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's or about to give him a child, and that has placed her in second place, so to speak,
Yeah.
because she's not able to do that
It
yet.
Hagar is edging in
Mm-hmm.
to become the new first lady, and that means if Sarai don't do nothing, or if Abram doesn't do anything for Sarai, she's going to be put out to pasture.
Mm-hmm. And you notice, I like how you said that. If Abram doesn't do anything, Abram didn't do anything.
But he couldn't. That's the problem. Because he's not her master.
Mhm.
He's just the dude
Well,
that got her pregnant.
but he's the master of the house, and I guess it, you know,
But
either
again,
way,
you got to
he
understand.
He tells Sarai, "You do it. You handle the problem
Yeah,
that you caused." So,
but it's like, okay, so I'm the man of the house,
Mhm.
but my wife's phone is her phone. I might be paying for it, but I gave it to her. It's her property. I cannot choose what she does with it. I cannot dictate which apps she downloads
Mhm.
or does not download. You know, we can have a conversation if I don't know, she's, you know. The other day I read an article about this guy, a news article about this guy that's married, downloaded a AI girlfriend app. So he's talking with an AI thing as if
Uh-huh.
it's a human being, and he's actually having a romantic relationship with it, and he proposed to it.
Okay.
If there was something like that going on, I mean, we would definitely be having a conversation, right? But it's still her phone, and she gets to choose what she does with it. Now, I'll have to do something in that circumstance. I don't know how to deal with that. Like, I'm putting myself in that wife's position, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, what do you do with that? But not to go into the weeds with that right now. But the idea is that Hagar is was given to Sarai as a servant by the Pharaoh. Abraham didn't pay. Abraham didn't purchase or bring her in. Abraham has no say with regards to Hagar.
Mhm.
But she's also carrying Abraham's child. So what's Sarai going to do?
And I guess that's another reason why Abram didn't do anything, because he didn't want to send her out because she was carrying his child.
And that's another thing. But that's why he says, she's your servant.
Mm-hmm.
You have the authority to deal with it. I don't have the authority to deal with it. So guess what? I am going to support you by accepting your call. Sarai, you make the call, and I'm going to back your play.
It still sounds like a coward's way out.
I mean, it does, but legally speaking,
back in those days, yes,
yeah. I mean,
mm-hmm. Her property, so her problem.
Yeah, not my circus, not my monkey.
And it turns around. Well, you gave her to your husband, so that's your fault. I mean, there's such a triangular.
Yeah, it's a mess. That's what I mean. What happens when you bring Egypt into your family?
Mm-hmm.